out, right?
Right.
So my friend and I were talking today about how, mindset is the most important thing that you can have to be in a good position mentally for your family, for your clients, for your business, everything. So being around the people that are going to give you the best mindset and the best attitude and the best energy are so important. So as important as it is to remove people that aren't helping you, it's equally as important, and it takes more time and effort to go out and seek people, ideas, solutions that will help you. So get the bad out and bring in the good, and bring in as much of the good as you can. So while I'd love to be Oprah Winfrey's friend, personal friend, that's not a reality for me at this point. So I watch as many videos. I read as many articles. I study as many things as she recommends and she puts out there, because I know that the more I can be around that, the better ideas I get from that positive source. So it takes effort to bring that stuff in, and if somebody's recommending a book to you, it takes time to get the book. It takes time to read the book. It takes time to implement the tools. But you owe that to yourself to better yourself. And then you can share with people around you what you've learned to better them. And that's your tribe. You have to seek that out. That's work that you have to do for your future success.
For example, Agent Mastermind. I don't know if you joined with them on Facebook or you knew them personally, but you're surrounding yourself with other like-minded, successful, but really they have the right mindset is probably the thing you are attracted to more than anything. But they think on all different levels, and they're all thinking in the same direction of, positivity, keep growing, personal development. Is it not just personally relationships? It's all about professional relationships. Am I right?
It's both. It's life is about what you do it's a net life concept. I work to have this life. You don't have this life because you work. That's not the way to do it.
I like that phrase. Josiah, let's highlight that a little bit. Okay. Yeah.
So that's just, important to acknowledge that we do these things so that we can have the things or the experiences that we want for ourselves personally and for our family.
Did you notice your tribe become, I think energy is contagious, whether it's good or bad. So did you notice your tribe start to grow when you started surrounding yourself with maybe the first 3-4 good people? Or did you notice something shift in your own personal success when you started surrounding yourself? Like, paint me a quick little real story of what happened. Maybe something good or bad that happened from having the right or wrong tribe.
Well, I think I learned the concept of having a good tribe all the way back in high school.
Cool. Yeah, I like this. Just not yet. That type of story. People talk about grade school stuff all the time. I think that's golden to show where you come from. What do you mean by that?
So I went to I'm from Northern Kentucky, and all the jokes about Kentucky that you want to share, they're all real funny. But it all comes down to the part where I went to a high school where it wasn't expected that you're going to college. It wasn't the expectation, right? I think like maybe 20% of our graduating class went to college. And, you could have surrounded yourself with all kinds of different people in high school. I chose to surround myself with people that I felt like were encouraging and supportive and had similar family backgrounds. And, I wasn't in the popular group. I still have many of these friends today. They've gone on to do very impressive things in my book as I watch them. And we're still supportive of each other. And this is, girls and boys. I don't see sex as, success or not success. It doesn't matter to me if it's a guy or a girl. I think we can all do the same things and achieve the same things. So my friends were a mix of both. And they were definitely all the people that were going to college for whatever reason. And that I changed industries a number of different times in my career. And when I went into real estate, I kind of had this understanding that this was my business. This was my company. This was my future. I had total control over it because I had previously been with companies where I did not have control. And I'm a control person. That's just who I am.
Well, so just to touch on that, as an agent, you get to select your tribe. You don't have to go work for a corporation, sit at a desk, and your tribe's given to you. This is the power of being a real estate agent. So I think it's important what you're just saying here. It's great.
Right. So when I entered into real estate, I didn't know anything. You take classes and you take a test. Well, that's all about law. It has nothing to do with selling houses. So again, I engaged myself in the Certified Residential Specialist program, and their education was just outstanding. And I just kept going back to that education. I kept going back to their seminars. I kept going back to their classes. There's 2 or 3 classes that I took 3, 4, 5 times because every time I would get something else. And what I started noticing is I was connecting with the other agents that were at that level, and I would see them at the places again and again. And there was one time where I was out in San Francisco for their conference, and I got asked to be on a YPN panel. And in that room, I met at least 10 or 15 of the people, and I think this was in 08 or 09, that are still in my life today. And we're in a small mastermind group that's been going for at least 7 years now of some of the top agents in the country. And we met from that early CRS event where we're all like-minded. We're all there. We're all spending our own money to educate ourselves, to invest in ourselves, for ourselves and for our clients. And that's where I found people, like Brian Copeland and Lee Brown, where they're sharing themselves for the betterment of our industry. And that's who I needed to be around, and that's who I wanted to learn from, and that's where I saw my best chance of success, was surrounding myself with people like that were raising the bar.
But they all wanted the same thing. That's another part of that, is like be around people who want what you want, right?
Yep.
Moving on here. Let's see here. There's the conviction. Get uncomfortable. To yourself matters. Getting uncomfortable. Let's move into that real quick. It looks like there's a Jack Canfield quote here. Most everything you want is outside your comfort zone. Talk to me a little bit about, I really believe any entrepreneur, in order to succeed, you really have to break away from comfort, whether it's a personal structure or family, that job, that corporate job you hate, that is comfortable because it's secure, money coming in. But what did you go through that made you uncomfortable, but now you're much more unstoppable because of it? Tell me about a situation. How did you learn this lesson of the power of being uncomfortable?
Oh.
Were you comfortable? Like 2008, worst time ever to be a real estate agent. It had to be everybody had to be saying, go get out of this, go get a job, What did you learn of that, fighting through that barrier of break?
Well, at that time, I don't know if this is going to answer your question or not, but at that time I realized that my income had gone down because things weren't selling. They were harder to sell. They were worth less money, right? So my income had gone down. My average sale price had gone down. But what I said to myself is, what is the good here? What is the good here? Well, I'm selling